Welcome back
to the jam
with Brock and Dan.
I'm Brock.
I'm Dan. And
that's Dan again.
And today, we're here with a very, very special guest, a good friend of mine, Elliott Gruenberg. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Welcome.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, bud.
Hey.
I know we've been talking for like a half hour already, but welcome. welcome to my house.
Yeah, man. So, well, that's it. See you later.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right.
Have a good time.
It's been real. Dude, what are you in town for?
So I'm here visiting my dad because we're playing a festival in Mansfield.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because you and I have played a lot of festivals in Mansfield.
Yes, we have.
And I think that's the last time I've ever been to Mansfield. So this could segue really quick. But yeah, we're doing the Incarceration.
Yes.
Real quick.
Yeah.
For the viewers, who are you, Elliott?
My name's Elliott Gruenberg. I play guitar in Blessthefall. And I've played in a lot of other bands based out of Ohio.
Don't you have your own solo projects as well?
Yeah.
He's got like two.
It's a bop though.
Yeah, I have a project when I write songs that don't fit and I can't sell them to people called Lee Coon that I put stuff out of. I haven't done anything like that for like probably 4 years.
Right on.
It's been 4 years.
It's still out there though.
You guys didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's super. Yeah, just obviously it's a way different thing, and so when you write songs and you write so many songs, I was just like, I don't really know what to do with this.
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
It's like,
fit.
right.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a video of you on Instagram playing bass.
Oh yeah. So
that I was like, oh sweet.
Yeah. So I'm filling in right now. When I'm not with Blessthefall, I've been working for a blues artist. Her name's Joanne Shaw Taylor. I started doing that about 2 years ago, and originally I was guitar teching. Sometimes I step up and I'll just like tour manage or do whatever she needs.
Yeah.
But over the summer, she just asked me if I wanted to fill in, play some bass. So.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
How cool is
That
it to
is
play
cool.
bass with like a blues band? Because it's like definitely a change of pace from Blessthefall, you
so
know?
different. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like you'd be up there grooving. It's so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Bass
Having
playing's
a
fun.
blast.
You don't understand, man. Playing
I
bass
don't.
is so much fun.
No, I'm a drummer and a vocalist. That's it.
It's a whole different animal.
I have a lot more respect for it now. Being a guitar player, I feel like we always have that, like, oh, we could do that. Like,
We
kind
got
of
two
attitude.
more strings.
But no, it's really interesting because I don't know the set list until like the day of a lot of the time,
Oh, wow.
and she'll change it like on a dime while we're there. So there's a lot of times where we have a set list we're going through, and she's like, okay, this song, and it's like skipped a song, and then we go back to it. And it's a lot of feel. So I always joke with them because, like, with Bless and playing with the same group for, like, 10 years, we have it all on a laptop. You press spacebar.
Yeah.
We know what the set is. We've gone over
Right,
it. It's going to be the same set. If we add a song, we're going to rehearse it and have it, like, all planned out. This one's like, all right, let's just do this one.
It's like almost like a jam band
Yeah,
kind of
she's like,
thing.
I hope it's in the key of C. Here we go. I'm like shitting my pants. Like, all right, here we go.
What kind of bass were you playing a P bass?
So I have an LTD Surveyor. So
okay.
I've been with LTD since.
An endorsement?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so I've been with them since 2011.
Right on.
And so they've been really good to me over the years. And so I asked them, I was like, hey, I've got this thing. I'm going to be in like Finland and things. And so, yeah, they hooked it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been
I'm
fun.
pretty sure Frank Bello from Anthrax plays an LTD Surveyor.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude, I got an LTD upstairs. I love that thing. Like, it's the Viper.
yeah.
The SG.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not like that at all. But
Dude, you have
dude,
got,
I love that thing.
That was my first
Really?
LTD was the Viper. That's remember the black SG one I used to play in Settle the Sky?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes,
And
I do.
I'd put under my leg and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, those were the fucking days, weren't they?
Dude,
Yeah.
They
So
just look so much better. I don't know. Aesthetically, LTDs are...
they're mean.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're a little top heavy.
Yeah.
Just the SGs in general.
Yeah,
So,
I think any SG is just
Yeah.
neck dive city.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
Me and Dalton like, I do know.
So anyway,
I can talk about guitar gear all day.
Guitar nerd stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
run it.
dude.
Listen. Usually when we have guests on here,
It's this guy talking.
It's me talking. So I want Brock because I told him, I'm like, dude, Elliott's like a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
And I also told Elliott earlier at my house, I'm like, yeah, Brock plays guitar, so I'm excited for you guys to just chit chat, you know?
Yeah.
I play guitar. I'm not a guitar player.
Yeah, I'm a professional string bender.
I'm a professional
What do you-
airbender.
I'm functionally okay. You know, I feel like
Dude, speaking of bends, like, what's your opinion on boomer bends? You know what people call boomer bends
yeah,
now?
that's what's his name from Polyphia. He started calling it that.
Oh, really?
And so
Shit, I love Polyphia.
yeah, the great band. I can't remember the Tim.
Yeah.
I saw Tim was and then he was doing he's like bends, and I play with a group that plays some old blues and stuff.
Yeah,
and
dude.
like Joe Bonamassa stuff.
Yeah.
So kind of like around the boomer bends, you know. what
Yeah.
I mean?
Dude, Joe Bonamassa came through Toledo or something. He stopped into Heights Guitars, and it was like a big deal. Like, they took a bunch of pictures and stuff.
Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was supposed to. That's why kind of like this worked out really well, is because they got someone that they're trying for like full time to be in her group that's filling in for this week. But originally, I was gonna do it, but they're playing a show with him tomorrow. So for a while, I was like, oh shit, I gotta like pretend to be a bassist here, and I have to be pretty decent because it's with him. He's like this
prodigy. He was
yeah,
like a
he's-
child
yeah.
prodigy.
and he has like a ton of gear. It's like he has like, was it Nerdville or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah,
Dude, he's got all kinds of vintage stuff. Like,
super nice guy.
Yeah,
I
seems
was,
like it.
I was in Nashville last month. I think it was last month, filming, and he came in to do some like guest feature stuff. So I mean, the dude's really cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Like, I can just watch that dude play. He's like, I guess our generation's Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of thing, you know, like guitar god.
Yeah, I mean, he does cool stuff. So I mean, yeah, I don't know how we got into Joe Bonamassa.
I don't know.
Dude.
Hey, it's the jam.
Yeah.
We're jamming, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who knows
it's all-
what'll happen?
It's all.
We just changed key.
It's interesting because it's so weird to sit here because I'm used to being at the gym watching or listening to you guys. do
Dude,
this.
that makes me so stoked.
Dude,
So,
we're so
like,
stoked that you're here, though.
Yeah,
it's
man.
awesome,
Right,
man.
right,
Oh.
right.
Is it what you imagined it
I
would be?
think-
Yeah, it's cool. No, I was watching. I'm sorry, Dalton.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, I feel like you might be one of the first guests we have on that's been in like an active listener from like start
Yeah.
day one.
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's just cool, man.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, I love what you guys are doing, and obviously, I've always tried to support my friends back home and whatever endeavors they want to do, and what limited capacity I can.
I mean, and that means a lot. Honestly,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, dude.
serious. Like
For
that means
real.
a lot because, dude, like some of the people closest to me, like don't give a shit about
Yeah.
what I do, or like it's like, hey, can you like,
Dude,
can you give us a fucking follow?
Come
Like
on,
that's
hook
all
us
I'm
up.
asking. Give us a follow.
Dude, just watch the clip.
Yeah,
You don't have to watch all that.
yeah. I mean, you don't have to like it. Just
Dude,
I don't know.
So for anyone,
something.
For anyone wondering, like I guess like I'm originally from Ohio, and I played in a band with Dan.
Yes.
Back in high school, and so I originally came watching Dan's band play from high school with my friends from Port Clinton. We'd drive in, and it was like, holy crap, these guys are screaming. They're like, there's breakdowns. I'm into it. And then like I feel it was pretty quick. They were like, hey, we need a guitar player to or whatever. How that all worked out.
Yeah, actually, damn, I remember that.
Yeah, it was
you
fast.
were. Yeah, it was real quick.
I was like,
Because
okay.
you were like, you were coming to Denny's.
Yeah.
Like we always.
what the fuck's up, Denny's?
Yeah, we always used to like do late night like dining at Denny's and just bullshit and hanging out. And our original guitar player Jeremiah, who plays for Settle the Sky now, again, was going off in the military.
Oh, this is way. I think this is way before that. This
No,
is,
no.
This
Was
is when
it?
Ryan was in it, and Mickey went down to bass, and Jeremiah and I were in the.
Oh, you are right.
And then,
Yes,
and then
yes.
We
when,
just saw Ryan. He was at the skate shop.
yeah.
Yeah, you're correct about that.
But just to give the picture, when you look at like a Wikipedia thing and you see like your timeline in a band.
Yeah.
If you looked at like my timeline in the band and the length of how long the band's been, it's probably like 10%.
A blip.
So,
It was a blip.
Humanity.
so in
the
no
history of
way,
Earth.
in
Well,
no way.
he went on his first tour with us. Like you never been on tour before us, right?
No.
Right. And I remember you being just a sleepy guy.
What?
The whole dude, we never hung out with Elliott. Like
Why
Elliott
not?
literally he
Seems
woke
cool.
up. I swear to God, listen, this is exactly why he is where he is in life, okay? So check this out. This is what I remember from being in a band with you. Okay, we'd get to the show. We'd set up. Where the fuck's Elliott? Oh, there he is. Oh shit, he's already bringing his shit in. Okay. We would all go skate the parking lot, whatever we wanted to do, right? And Elliott would just be like nowhere to be found, and he would just be in the corner somewhere, like,
dude,
like just practicing. And I'm like, me being
Don't
young,
need to practice.
me being young and like,
Practice?
oh, I'm on tour. This
Talking
is my
about
first
practice?
tour, right? Like, man, fuck that. I'm trying to have fun, right? But I was also the vocalist. I didn't really have to do anything except
LSD.
take care of my voice, right?
Lead singer's disease.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, obviously, that hard work and determination paid off. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of times when I talk to people and I'm like, it's not necessarily about being the best guitar player. It's about being the most motivated and putting yourself in places of vulnerability.
Right.
And like really like holding a good vibe with people. I think that's half of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you got to live in a tight space with somebody, and if they smell bad or they like suck,
it's
a kind of a deal. It really is like one of those things. So, it's like when we're hiring crew and we're bringing people in from like when I'm like working in those situations, it's like you want to have people coming in that like conduct themselves in like a professional manner. They're super nice, and I feel like those habits start when you're young. So
Is that the kind of person you think you are? Like the person's like courteous. I feel like I'm like a guy that tries to be courteous to other people.
I try to be.
Make it like as smooth sailing as possible.
Yeah, I try to set people up for success. Whether they want to drink the water or not, it's up to them. It's like you can lead them there and give them all the back knowledge on what they need to do and what's expected. Like this morning I was writing out like an entire like Dropbox folder of settings and what you need to do to tech for this artist that's someone's filling in for this weekend.
Right on.
And, whether they want to use it, that's up to them. But I set them up for success.
I love that.
That's
kind
of like that's where my attitude's at. But anyway, back to that. I'm a sleepy guy.
Oh no. I mean that's literally all I remember from our first tour together. It's like Elliott just slept.
So
he didn't really hang out. I mean, he did like every now and again. He popped up like, "Hey, what's up?" And we're like, "Oh my God, Elliott's alive! Cool, good to know."
He was practicing.
Yeah.
I remember on that first tour, and I think like just being in the house, you're gonna appreciate this. So we went up to, I think it was Wisconsin, and we ended up like looking for a place to stay. We didn't have somewhere to go, and the sound guy's like, "Oh, you guys can like."
Oh my God, you were on that tour?
Yeah, and so they're like, "You can come stay at my house." And the whole time we're watching like Halloween and things, and it's all like old band. And they're like, and someone said it. They're like, "Oh, dude, this is where like Ed Gein's from." And
Plainfield.
And the guy's like, "Yeah, that graveyard is right across the street, and that's where he used to pull the bodies from." So everybody,
Swear to God.
No way.
Yeah,
dude.
and
You guys were there?
We were there. We seen the like little hardware store.
The hardware store.
Like,
yeah.
That's
Bernice
wild.
Warden.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why I
wild.
know all this shit. But.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like one of those. Where I was like, "What the?"
Oh yeah, like what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like what are we doing, guys? Are we sure
I
about
just
this?
remember you were scared as shit.
I was scared as shit, dude. I'm like,
Oh man.
Have you ever played the rave in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Dude.
A bunch of times.
And like Jeffrey Dahmer's old apartment or whatever is like across the street.
So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff with that, and I mean, there's like the pool underneath. It's
Yeah.
an old gentleman's club, and they have like a pool, and all the bands have signed it. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's haunted. It's haunted." There's like a pathway from there to the hotel I used to use. I mean, I feel like it's all bullshit, but a
Yeah.
lot of the staff will always be like, "Not bullshit. There's weird stuff."
Dude,
And so
that's a beautiful venue. That's
Yeah.
one of the like that
Yeah.
ballroom is so cool.
upstairs, yeah, the upstairs is gorgeous. Yeah,
Dude.
I think we did the upstairs with Black Veil Brides and Asking Alexandria, and I remember being
Right
like,
on.
"What am I doing here? Like, this is a cool room."
That big purple ceiling. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
dude, I remember. Wow, I haven't heard those band names in quite some time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like Asking Alexandria. I remember.
They're still around, aren't they?
yeah. They're doing really well.
Yeah. Didn't he, the dude do like a country song or something? It was really good.
He's always been into that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
always
like-
kind of thought it was a joke, but it's not a joke.
Dude, if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
Wild times, man. I remember pulling up to an Asking Alexandria show and hopping in their van and just like being to myself, like saying to myself, like, what in the hell? Like, how the fuck did I get here? You know what I mean? Like, what in the world?
Was that Dirty Dan or was that regular Dan?
Oh, that was Dirty Dan.
The
That was
dirtiest
straight
Dan.
up. That was straight up Dirty Dan.
The
I'm pretty
dirtiest
sure
of
I had a
Dans.
cobra in my hand, like in their van. Like,
King Cobras. Is that before? Oh, remember Magnums had the plastic bottles. Those were awful.
Well,
they all have plastic bottles now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
one of our like things that we'd do is when I'd come back home to Ohio is he'd just want to go get Cobras and then drive around listening to The Weeknd. And I know you guys talked about it with Josh, or whatever, but I was like, yo, that was my thing with Dan.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
It's like
He's
we-
trying
I mean,
to
dude,
co-opt
that's how I taught myself how to sing.
Really?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Driving around drinking King Cobras.
because Elliott showed me. He goes, "You have." Remember, it was in Zach's apartment.
I can't remember.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will, because I have a picture of it. I will show you after this. Okay.
Okay.
So we were in our buddy Zach's apartment, and he goes, "You have to hear this artist," and I'm like, "Whatever," you know, like not thinking anything of it. I'm like, "Whatever, okay." He showed me Wicked Games before it was huge. Before the Weeknd blew up. He was
Wait.
such an unknown artist, but he was giving his mixtapes away for free online.
Right on.
Right. So Elliott was like, I heard this at a club and I just like fell in love with it. And I knew you have to listen to this. And I'm like, okay, let's listen. Change me. It changed
Right on.
everything. Like from that moment on, it changed everything. And I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to fucking sing like this dude.
Dude.
And clearly I wasn't there yet, or still not there yet, but I remember getting Cobras or Labatt Ice, the tall black cans, driving in the country roads, just practicing those runs or just zoning out. I would call it the zone. Like,
Dude.
We
Oh,
Go
my
ahead.
bad.
No,
No, I was
no.
going to say, speaking of, like, keeping your voice in shape and stuff like that, dude, on the 5th, I went and seen the Beach Boys.
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah. How was
they're-
that?
That's,
Dude, they're still on top of their game. They're in their 80s, dude. It's fucking crazy.
you know who I saw this last year was Robert Smith when The Cure did
Really?
theirs, and
really?
he is honestly the best vocalist I've seen. I mean, he's like
Dude.
70 something too now.
Really?
It's-
I didn't think he was that
yeah.
old.
He's in his 70s.
Yeah, he's an old guy, man.
Dude,
And
I just recently got into The Cure.
it's
Dude.
Oh man.
you know, you just see when people's voices age how they change, and that's kind of expected. You know, they can't hit that, but it's no tracks. This guy's not running live, and it's just
Wow.
a real talent. It was
Dude.
really crazy.
Like real raw talent.
He's 65, by the way.
65.
Dude,
65.
still.
Yeah.
65.
Still 65
Still.
playing shows. Wow, dude.
2 hours.
Oh my god.
And-
What?
And he's awesome because like we booked we did it with Ticketmaster, and we literally got an email being like, we're gonna credit you back $20 because Robert Smith disputed all of these like fees, and so
Oh.
everyone that bought tickets, he like doesn't want to keep
Oh,
charging like
dude.
maximum
Dude,
profit.
that's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Wow.
All the T-shirts. This is like a stadium, $20.
What?
So I was
What?
Dude, stadium. Listen, you. Everyone, I'm sure knows this, but stadium merch
Skyrocket.
like $60
dude,
for a
it's
shirt.
insane.
Yeah, I've seen Kiss a few times, and
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always like,
they typically take a lot too. You know the
Right,
Yeah.
So
right,
it's like
right.
so.
It's not like the bands want to charge that much.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
they gotta pay the
I'm
venue.
not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna throw shade. There's a thing called price matching, and there's a management. Usually it's not the band's call. The management's looking at like total like gross what we can make, and that they set the price. And
Yeah.
if you're opening, you have to set your price to match.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
it's because you can't be undercutting.
Yep.
It's kind of like I can't have shirts for 20 and then be opening for.
yeah.
right,
whoever.
right.
And I think honestly, that's just to Robert Smith's credit. I think it just shows because he's literally had to have had that conversation and said, "I don't care if we make less money.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what it is."
That's awesome.
But it's cool for him to be at a point in his life to where it's like financially he's fine, so he doesn't care, so he can afford to do that. Unlike some of these bands that they can't afford to. Like this is it. This is how they're paying their bills. Whereas
Yeah.
he's like, I don't care. I'm already lived and well off. give the money back to these people.
Yeah,
Right.
Shout out to Robert Smith. He's
Yeah,
a cool
yeah.
guy. And he fought Mecca Streisand in South Park too.
He did.
He's one of the only. What is it? They said he's like one of the only characters in South Park that's always been like good or whatever.
Yeah,
They
they never shit on him. Yeah, that's so awesome.
oh man.
Dude, so what's new, man? Tell us about like what you do now. And
How about the weather?
I mean, I know that we started talking about this a little bit at my house, but so you've recently like got into like filming, and
I was gonna say I have some things I wanted to ask too, and that
Yeah.
was going to be one of them. Yep.
like
Oh.
filming and doing. You said you shot a wedding.
Yeah. So I started. I just I think during the pandemic I really wanted to. How do I say this? There's a point where you just see the vulnerability in your industry, and you want to. I was just talking about like wanting to create marketable assets in the sense of like how do you market yourself as a tool to other people and what can you offer them? And so yeah, I started filming and I started like trying to do like content for people and videography, kind of just for fun at first, and then it's actually been pretty fun because now I've been doing like real estate and been doing like weddings. I just started doing weddings with my buddy. It's always been kind of this thing where I was like, oh, this is going to be so stressful.
Dude.
Um,
So were you a second shooter in that wedding?
I was.
Oh man, you're so lucky.
It was.
I stress out so much.
So yeah, the way we did it is we did a 3-camera setup, and then I was in the aisle with like the gimbal.
Oh, okay.
doing-
So the 3-cam setup was one stationary.
Yeah,
And then-
3 stationary. He's had an I mean, this is super nerd, but FX6, and then I think he had an FX30 and an FX3 setup, and then I was shooting with a ZVE one, which is the A7S3,
Okay.
and then it's all Sony. So and then anyway, long story short, so like when they're doing like they're coming down the aisle and doing the kiss and stuff, that was like me, and
That
I
was
was
you.
like, all these
Aw.
like key moments.
So okay,
like,
so that makes it less stressful because seeing like I can see how he has it.
there's a
like-
redundancy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you set yourself, I feel like his name is Nick. He has an incredible company and he's an incredible dude. But he has it all laid out to where it makes it so that we're just able to kind of have fun and be artistic, and like
That's so dope.
the redundancy is that we're good. We have a lot of shots and he can pull from. So it's great.
Okay.
You know, I love skateboarding. Don't you?
I do. I love it.
Dude, like, I find myself pushing, kicking, ollieing, kick flipping. But dude, check this out.
Yeah.
Do you know where I got these wheels from?
Where'd you get them from?
These bearings? These rails? These trucks?
That's a nice setup.
This deck? This Slayer hardware by Independent? Do you know where I got it?
Where'd you get it from?
Rhino Skateboard Shop Company, 1472 East State Street, Fremont, Ohio, 43420.
No way. Dude,
Yeah.
Same here.
Dude, I think everybody should go there to buy their skateboarding stuff.
I got my trucks, wheels, bearings, hardware, deck, grip tape, everything that you see here from Rhino Skateboard Shop.
That's right. 1472 East State Street, Fremont, Ohio, 43420. Be there or be square. It's totally up to you, but make sure you go and buy a skateboard or any skateboarding accessory.
We'd like to thank Rhino Skate Shop for sponsoring this podcast.
The Jam with Brock and Dan. I'm Brock.
I'm Dan.
Right back to the show.
Do it.
You gave Dalton a clap.
Yeah.
No, I edit, so I get it. Like there's like, I mean, it's so hard to just like come right back in if you don't have like these cues like
Yeah.
that. And it's like that's been kind of the beauty, and it's cool to see. Like obviously, Dalton, you do so much work that it's fun to kind of like be able to connect with people on a whole different level of
Yeah.
being like,
Yep.
oh my god, dude, I get that. Oh, you didn't have that queued up.
Dude, it's one of those things where I'm super thankful to be in a position to work for myself, and that's what I do for a living now is content creation for companies and branding and real estate, photography, all that stuff. And I'm on a very small scale compared to some, but like it's so like I find it very crazy when I meet someone that is like in that realm, because it's like both people are like, oh my god, I can talk, I can speak what I want to speak, and you'll understand. I don't have to like
Right.
change the lingo to make you understand it. And like one of my partners, the brand that I just partnered with, he's like that. So it's like when I go to record him, I don't have to like tell him anything, and it's so weird because I'm so used to being like, okay, you're gonna say it like this, you're gonna do this, we're gonna film like this, and it's just like, oh, I don't have to say anything. Okay, dude, 3, 2, 1, we're live. There you go. And it's like, oh, sweet. And then gear is a whole nother realm.
Well,
but
I totally get what you're saying. It's one of those where I found that like when I have a client and I have to shoot them, now I'm like not I guess script writing and kind of writing everything for them. Like, hey, no, and like when I get in front of a camera, it's I get it now. It's hard to like show up.
Yeah.
Right,
but it's
right.
one of the I feel like the superpowers I've learned that I can do is just be like, hey man, don't even worry about this. This is what the shot's gonna be. Don't even think I'm not here. Just do your thing, and I just want you to kind of do this. And like, it's really fun to direct. And I think the biggest side of that I love is just telling stories and creating. It's like helping tell a story, whether that's a brand or a special moment or an artist trying to show like what they can do. And so it's been cool, and it's so run and gun. So it's kind of like the music industry.
Yeah.
Like we were doing a behind the music shoot for that artist I was talking about, and we were at RCA Studios in Nashville, which I was already like, that's pretty freaking wild.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
you know,
so
like
dope.
That's Chris Stapleton's recorded in this room.
Yeah, I was about to
This
say,
is-
dude.
This
Yeah.
is some.
That's huge.
This is some really cool opportunity. So I'm shooting just like some B-roll stuff for the label, and then I get a call and they're like, "Hey," and this is Wednesday night. They're like, "Hey, just so you know, we need to get a music video done, and we need it done by Friday.
holy cow!
And we need it edited by the following like Tuesday."
And what day did that
my
happen?
So this was on Wednesday.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so they need me. So I had to
Wow.
set up a shoot and do it. And I have like a ZV-1 with one SD card. So this is like
Dude, my heart would be.
yeah. So this is
pounding.
if
Please don't
anything
fuck
if
up.
anything corrupts, you're essentially just kind of like you're just
Yeah.
like going
You're
for it.
screwed.
Right.
Yep.
But fuck it, let's do it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Dude,
Yeah.
so I think I love that. I'm like, let's
That's
go.
when you have
dude.
the most
Yeah.
fun.
That's
dude.
me being my out there. I'm like, let's fucking do it.
Yep. I tell people for me, like when it comes to like anything like this, I swear when my back's against the wall, that's when the best stuff comes out of it.
Yeah.
Like Bailey and I did a shoot and we got our deliverables and it was like we blocked out enough time because I personally like here, let's get these deliverables, get them out of the way. And then it was like, this is the rest of what we're doing. And it was like we used more of the non-deliverables because you're able to be creative and just go. And it's like, oh, dude, I don't know. It's just, I get so like nerded out. I get so hyped up and I love it because it's like you don't know what's going to happen. You get creative energy flowing. You have no idea what's coming out, especially when you have two people bouncing creative ideas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Getting
it's amazing.
Getting paid to do something that you love and to help people create and like it, you know, just like this, like you guys have this concept. It's like cool. Let's like make this the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
Dude.
man. I mean,
And
that's like that's our whole goal with this.
Yeah, I'm
is,
having
like,
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, there's a lot of podcasts out there that like talk about like
Conspiracy
sports
theories.
or
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. But like I don't know. It's like every week we try to do something. We don't really have a plan. We just go, fuck it.
Well,
Let's just hang out.
We have
and-
like a very small, like, hey, if we want to talk about this, and this, we can.
Right.
But if we're not going to force it because
And I think that's
it just
I
happened.
think that's like when like what you're saying, like when and you like the best stuff that you guys created was like just on the limb. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
yeah.
It's like the best song in the world written in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right,
Or
exactly.
They're
It's
the
like-
ones
it's like
that
a song.
they didn't want to put out.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
like Cheyenne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
a
dude,
badass song.
but everyone loved but that song was supposed to be a filler song.
Really?
I swear
And
to
now
God.
it's like you're the biggest song from Settle This Guy.
right. Like everywhere we've ever played a show, like, oh, play Cheyenne.
I told
We
you that
will.
it randomly showed up on like a playlist I was listening to, right?
Yeah, I mean it's still
And I didn't
gets-
even search for it or nothing.
it's kind of nuts because
Where's your
it's-
check?
right? Ask
Spotify.
Well, I mean, it's really cool like that where like spontaneity, you know, you have an
Yeah.
opportunity to just like
right.
do something that you weren't expecting and to just watch something blossom and turn into something you never could have imagined. So
Yeah.
with this podcast, it's kind of, it reminds me of what Dalton was just saying here, where it's like, you know, you have your key points. Those are your deliverables. Those is kind of like what we want to go off of, but you might uncover some really great gems just kind of
Yeah.
shooting it. And
Oh,
not-
100%.
So, yeah.
Dude.
Well, real quick, I want to shout out that knowing now the time crunch of that music video. Holy shit, dude! Like phenomenal job. Like I didn't like one. I didn't really know you were into like filming stuff like that, and then I seen it, I was like, oh, this is sick. But knowing the time now, holy shit, dude! Good job.
I had
dude.
an edit for them. If I finished it on Friday, I finished it. So just to give you guys the timeline on this. So I set up the stage. I still had to film B-roll on our Thursday, and then I had to set up the set. And I said, hey, come in Friday morning. We're going to do this. And then I have to be gone by noon because I have to fly out at 2:30. So we have 3 hours to shoot everything. So I had to have everything like ready to go. We're just going to go. And it ended up being really cool and ended up working out completely. And
dude, that's so wild to hear because like my music videos were done in like full days. Like, I mean, straight up like more than 8 hours.
Yeah. I mean, they typically are.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was like why I was like, challenge accepted. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
But,
Hell yeah.
And then I had a first edit for him when I got back. I got back Friday night, I had an edit for them on Saturday. So I mean, it was such a quick turnaround.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
The majority of it was just going through back and forth with the label with how much grain they wanted and the different color grades because they wanted it to look more vintage, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, I can always add. It's just hard to take it away when you have it. You know?
Yep.
Dude, I found an old VHS camcorder, like the RCA ones,
Shoot.
where it takes VHS tapes. I was like, dude, it'd be so cool to like shoot in sequence, like come up with like a story and shoot it in sequence on the VHS tape, no editing or nothing. Just like make sure you get it. And dude, it just looks so cool.
Dude,
I heard on this podcast that you're a videographer and you have a movie. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Dude, I shot that with a Sony Handycam. It's called a Monkey Madness.
That's
It was the most fun I ever had in my life.
Monkey Madness. That's right.
Well, when we did,
It's great. I'll send it to you.
when we first started the podcast, before it was out, we were like, we got to make a teaser. So I'm like spitballing these ideas. We're all bouncing the ideas around. I had so much fun filming that little teaser. And we filmed it, for those who don't know, we filmed it, the entire thing on the iPhone. We wanted to keep it true.
Yeah.
Just stick with the iPhone. I wasn't on board with that. I wanted to use the camera, but I was like, fuck it, we'll use the iPhone.
Yeah, dude,
And
limitations.
we made it work. But that was so much fun, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like
It
me,
looked
Dan,
really
and Brock,
great.
we were all just
Dude,
spitballing ideas. Dude, it was
I
so
ate
much fun, dude.
serious shit.
Oh, yeah.
On my skateboard,
Dan
bro.
ate shit.
I
Yeah.
hit a rock.
So, for the viewers
You wanna
or
keep it and pee
anyone
on
that's
it?
seen it, when Dan is getting on the skateboard, when he realizes like he's got to get to the show to film, and he goes, "Oh no!" and he gets the skateboard in his hand, and he takes off running and gets on the skateboard.
Oh, yeah,
That's when he ate shit. We didn't use the take that he ate shit because obviously he ate shit.
It was pretty bad.
But like,
dude,
and it wasn't even like a funny eating shit where we could add it in the bloopers. He
felt
ate
bad.
shit. I was like, oh god, like,
Well,
is he gonna be able to keep filming? Because dude,
I was
it
fucking
bad,
gushing blood. My whole like palm like ripped open. I landed on some rock, so I wheel, like, you know what I mean. I hit a rock, got some wheel bite, and fucking just ate shit.
Yeah. Luckily, I had a first aid kit.
Yeah. If
I
Brock
doctored
didn't
him
have
up.
the first aid kit, I don't know.
We probably wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
able
we
to
wouldn't have been able to finish because he
Right.
Wouldn't be
leaving.
here. He probably did.
Oh my
It was,
god.
it was that bad.
Well, dude, it was.
Legend says.
He'd still be out there just.
It almost happened.
No, dude, like everyone was like, "Oh fuck, are you all right?" And I'm like, like bleeding.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, it was terrible.
Not to, well, actually, I am going to change the subject, I guess. I was going to say not to change the subject, but that's, when you're about to change the subject.
Yeah.
But, dude, do you care if I do some guitar nerd stuff with you real quick?
Yeah.
All right.
Run it.
Yeah.
Dude, so I've been experimenting, right?
Okay.
And I jam with my buddy Cameron. Shout out to Cameron. He really loves your band.
He does.
And it's usually just me and him because it's hard to find another person,
Why are you
play
pointing
with.
at me?
'Cause where were you? No, I'm just kidding.
He was sucking down a chili dog. Man.
Yeah. But I was like, man, we get
Christ.
like it just doesn't sound good. I'm playing guitar, he's playing drums, whatever. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna experiment. So I took my pedal tuner and it has the bypass and the output, right? So I sent one signal to my guitar amp and the other to a Digitech whammy.
I love those.
Dude, and I put it down an octave.
Yeah.
And I tuned to like drop B and sent it to the bass amp and it sounds huge, dude. And it's just one guitar. It's fucking crazy.
Do you know what he's saying?
I have no
Who,
clue
me?
either.
So he's
I kind of do because my dad.
I don't know. I don't know
But-
guitar
It's like-
stuff at all.
yeah. Okay.
I kind of do.
Drum and
because my
keyboard.
dad-
That's
I just
Trying
want to
to-
know if
I'm
you ever heard of that.
Yeah, no, taking one signal and then sending it, multi-outing it
Yeah.
over to a bass amp. I mean, I've never done it, but you definitely could. I've
Dude.
definitely seen it with like the different like transposing and putting things down an octave. A lot of guitar
Yeah.
players will have like I can't remember the pedal, but you can have Eric would do that where if he was playing octaves, he would have it set and he could hit it and it would just it was an octave pedal.
Yeah, CKY did that a lot. Yeah, like that's the CKY sound.
Well, you know, like
CKY.
you know when you track a guitar and you know how we would have to track the same part like 3 times to give it a layer. So that's kind of the idea. It gives it a thicker sound because you have like a lower octave playing the same tonality.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It kind of fills in the bass part, you know.
Right. So he's, there's if you think of tone and you think of frequency, you're not, you're playing mids and then you're having a lot of highs with the percussion and everything, but you're not getting that lower frequency. So you're essentially multi-outing.
Yeah,
that's great. It's cool.
Dude,
I love that.
So cool.
It's like a Jack White thing or something.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
Like something like, or like even 21 Pilots, because
okay. Like, there's only 2 dudes.
Yeah.
I love that. See, limitations. Figure out what you can do with the guitar. And
yeah, but dude, that's like the beauty of music.
Yep.
Like you can just.
There are no rules.
There are no rules whatsoever. I mean, it's a great thing to think about. I don't know. I'm just like, man, that's
I wonder if you really can snap into a Slim Jim.
So when you run your rig, are you running like a ton of different pedals then, or
no, dude? I usually go straight into the amp. I tried doing like a lot of people would do like a noise gate and then do a boost with like a tube screamer or something.
Yeah,
is that what you do?
Kind of. Yeah. I have everything digital now.
Oh, right on.
So I don't.
You don't even have to mess with
I don't even have an amp on stage.
Right on.
I just
really.
No, it's I mean, for Joanne, because they want to have stage sound being like a blues band with real amps, I have to run it through a power amp. But yeah, I run everything DI.
Dude, right on.
Wow.
Was it through a computer or like the Axe Effects
this
or
is
whatever?
gonna sound like it sounds like a sci-fi movie, but it's called the Quad Cortex. It's from Neural DSP. And so you could technically run 2 guitars, and you could run 3 guitars and a bass through it. Really, you can run multiple rigs at the same time. So live,
dude.
Listen, hold on. I am so out of the game that this is like kind of crazy to hear right now.
So yeah, I always think about it with the kids, and like where younger kids are getting into music. I'm like, you have something that's worth about as much as 1 amp that I'd have to save up an entire summer to buy, and every pedal I could ever think of in one little box that you can carry in and plug in two moments, and I had to carry 4x12 cabs upstairs my entire youth, and 8x10 bass rigs. And it's
dude, it was terrible.
And
it was fucking terrible.
Dan, you were the singer, bro.
Yeah, but
you
I
had to carry a microphone.
That's why I didn't hang out with Dan. As I was
busy working.
I was resting.
carrying,
I was resting from setting up all the gear. And Dan was like, "Guys, where's the bathroom?"
You're taking
Did
a
you see the
break from
women's
working
bathroom's
hard.
cleaner?
Listen, anytime I would go to shows,
That's so true. I always had to shit. As soon as we got to the venue, I had to shit. I don't know why. It's just one of those things.
And every band who's ever, anything that's like a 1,200 cap room, the band has shit in the girls' restroom because it's always cleaner before the show.
100%. Dude, 100%.
Every time.
I did it at work once, and I almost got caught. Actually, I did get caught by a female that worked there. She walks in the bathroom, and I'm like, oh no.
That's when you just,
I feel like this happens to him too much.
She goes, oh yeah, dude. She goes, Dan, is that you?
How did she know?
Bro, I have leg tattoos and I wear shorts.
Oh,
and my
okay,
pants
okay.
were all the way down.
Okay.
I was like alone in the girls' bathroom. It was an emergency.
It wasn't like Cedar Point.
No. I'm so glad. I'm glad you remember that.
Or what was it, Little Caesars?
Yeah, I went to Cedar Point shortly after that, and I went to the bridge where he shit his pants, and I took a picture. I went like, ooh, like I was, clenching my cheeks, and I sent it to these guys, and they're like, oh, cool, you're at Cedar Point. And it took it like 2 weeks. I was like, that's where you shit your pants, Dan.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize.
Listen, I don't remember like anything unless I'm staring at my calendar.
That's true.
I'm just
dude.
like, I don't know what I'm doing today or what I did yesterday.
My
Let me
mind
check.
is zonked from editing this 2-minute clip into a 30-second clip. And I'm focused on getting ums out of
Facts.
persons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dead space that I got to remove, and
Yeah.
I got to
Dude.
cut it.
I say dude quite a bit. It's like some people say I say dude, and
I think that's better than
It just depends who you're talking to. It just depends. I got my last job. I got pulled into HR at my last job because I called this person dude, and then I called this person man, but it was just how I like oh, what's up, man? Like, how you doing, dude? Or
talk.
Yeah, and I got pulled in HR, and I was just like, I didn't mean any harm. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, that's just how I talk.
Right.
No,
Dude, I say hell yeah, brother. To
I had that happen actually in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we were loading into a venue. And yeah, exactly. I think it's the Midwest in me. It's like, yeah, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, we're up, just trying to get all the gear out. Hey, man, thank you. And I had the crew pull me aside, and they're like, hey, just so you know. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so, like, I didn't even realize I said it. I'm so sorry. I pulled them aside, had a great conversation. End of the night, we were all like hanging out. They're like
good vibes.
They're I don't really
Hell yeah.
drink, but they're like trying to pour me shots and stuff. So you know, you can make a good those little mannerisms like that. It's like, I swear there was no malicious intent.
Yeah, and after the fact, it was clear. I cleared the air because I was like, I'm so. And they're like, no, like it's just. I'm like, no, you're good.
They're probably used to it.
Yeah.
You know, that happens. So it's like,
I think they were more shocked that I apologized because they're like, oh, you care.
Dude.
I didn't mean any harm, bro. I mean, there we go. See,
I just got here.
Hey man. hey man.
See,
Hey man. Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's just.
Dude, I find myself doing that all the time. Like, I'll call. I don't care, who you are. I'll end up saying, "Hell yeah, brother." You couldn't be my brother. You're still my brother. Hence the hat.
Oh yeah,
Borther.
Hell yeah, brother.
Borther.
I'm in this Bad to the Bone truckers group on Facebook, and they all talk in all caps like boomers.
Do they do it intentionally, or do
yes,
they
it's
do it?
intentional. It's like it's like a comedic thing.
So they're just yelling all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a chat.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I'm telling you, man, this dude is the most unique person I've ever met.
Dude,
in my
listen,
life.
we
Start
Like,
doing
hey,
that.
what'd you do?
Hell yeah, brother.
What'd you do on Saturday, Brock? Oh, nothing. Just
went bear fishing.
just went on Facebook to this group chat, man. Just
The Bad to the Bone truckers don't
Bad
give
to
any
the Bone
damns or
truckers.
shits.
Like, what?
You got to say hoss a lot.
You like how I called you that the other
Yeah,
day?
dude, I was like, what the?
Hanging out with him,
Yeah,
man.
we come to film an episode for the one day, right? And normally there's stuff on the printer, and he's got these radios over here. These
Oh yeah, I
big
got
radios.
ham radios.
And he goes, we're like, whoa, like Dan and I are looking at it because we're children and we don't get out much, I guess. And we're looking at these things. We're like, dude, these are sweet. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm like certified. I can get on these frequent. We're like,
Yeah, I have a GMRS license.
yeah. You just hop on any radio station, hang out, and talk to
Dude, pirate radio.
people on their walkie. Like,
Dude, I've always wanted to tap into like the FM frequencies and like play whatever fucking music I want.
no way.
That way someone
could,
could
like,
tune into
intercept
it.
You wanted to
radio?
do that like back in the day when they did the pirate. When they used to do the
dude.
pirate radio.
Yeah, that'd be so cool playing whatever the hell I
I
want.
want to go. If I ever went to college, I'd like to imagine me in college having a pirate radio station. Back in the day.
Dude, what? I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, man, if I could only listen to one band for the rest of my life, like, what would it be?
Oh, I already know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
let's go around. Everybody say
I'm not
that.
first.
All right, I'll
'Cause
go
everyone's
first.
gonna hate my answer.
But King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, dude. I don't know why you don't
I
listen.
knew you were gonna say that.
They have like 100 albums, and they only been around for like 10 years. But like every
They have
album's
100
different.
albums.
Dude, that's an exaggeration, but yeah, there's a
Oh.
lot.
So one band.
Yeah, dude, because
I
they
got
literally play everything.
I couldn't tell you. This is.
I can
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's tough, but I could do it.
All right, here's my. I don't know if I can answer that one, but what's your karaoke song?
Dude, Du Hast. That's the only one I've ever done.
What's your karaoke song?
Karaoke song. I've never. Ugh.
I'm trying to
I
think.
hate
like,
At a
Karaoke.
wedding, what would you sing? What would you belt?
Waka Flocka.
There you go.
Karma.
Dude.
I'm trying really hard to think of like a song that I would.
Mine's the Pokemon theme.
Oh, really?
That is a good one, dude. That is a good one.
And I would full send that shit.
Yes.
Full on diaphragm. No throat.
Dude, I
Just-
got mine. Mine's ridiculous, and my wife hates it. I don't drink at all, So this song, I don't understand why my ears love this song, but it's Tequila by Dan and Shay. Oh my god, dude, I could sing that song.
Dan and Shay.
Yeah,
I know.
dude. You ever heard it? It's like, when I taste tequila,
No, I thought
baby, I still see you.
I was thinking about tequila.
That's
Oh,
no,
That's
no,
great
no.
because you only have to say one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Do that. You should do that.
I do want to
Yeah.
know your one band though, Dan. I do want to know if you had to listen to one band.
Oh man. Well, it was. Now, does it have to be a band?
No, it just
I don't know. That's just something that was on my mind.
One, I guess artist. Well, I was thinking band. That's why I was able to pick one. But if it's one artist, then my answer's
Just
gonna have
artist.
to change.
If it's artist, party
Shit.
next door.
I don't think I've
You've
ever
been
heard
on
of
that.
that.
You've been on that train for a while.
Long time.
Yep.
What's
I have
that?
it- I have it tatted. His little logo.
It's kind of like The Weeknd.
Oh, okay, like pop kind of stuff.
It's
No.
So
No,
Elliot, you
the
can't
old
pick
Weeknd.
one. You can't
No,
narrow it down.
it's-
I would just listen to like instrumental piano music.
Dude,
Really?
That's
not a
that's-
bad choice.
that's
Not a
what
bad choice.
I couldn't
well,
give you a composer, but that's what I'd probably listen to.
You ever listen to there's this guy on YouTube who do like old metalcore songs and he'll do piano covers of them and like they sound really good.
I don't really listen to metalcore.
Dude,
Dude, it's so weird. Like when you play it,
Yep.
Yeah.
when you play it, you don't listen to it. Like
Yeah.
that's why I strayed away. Like I mean, clearly you've known me for a very long time. I've listened to heavy shit, but usually it's like, I mean, me and you went to go see Drake together, bro.
Yep.
Dude, yeah.
I watched you try to get weed from the dude or whatever. You're like, yeah, man, pass that thing over.
and he's like, hell no.
No,
Or did he pass it to
No,
you?
he fucking.
Oh yeah,
I
you told the story.
I told
yeah,
the story
yeah,
on the pod.
Yeah.
That's my memory for you.
And I blacked out after that. I was like, hey man, I'll give you the
I
rest.
was
of the-
rounding everybody up. I was like, all right, guys, get in the SUV. It was like my mom's old SUV. Sam's like, MIA.
I remember falling asleep in the back of your car, going like,
Where's the concert at?
Blossom.
Oh, right
You
on.
don't remember this story, Brock?
Yeah, every time someone
the
says
OVO?
Blossom, I
'cause,
think about
dude,
seeing.
Drake was just about to go on, and we all had our own little shirts that Devin made
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us, and it said OVOXO in death metal letters. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
And so I'm drinking this like $10 tall boy, and I'm like, fuck, I need some fucking weed. Drake's about to go on. And
I need it.
this dude just happened to walk right by me
Oh, yeah,
with
'cause you
a
traded
blunt.
him.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll give you the rest of this beer for a hit of that blunt. He goes, man, just take that shit. And I'm like, bad idea, because I fucking blacked out.
Dan goes in.
Don't even remember it.
Oh, nice. Like, this fucking song's so good.
He's just on.
You realize he's outside?
Dan's no longer present.
Drake's
He's
like-
on the next plane. Like
Yeah,
he's,
dude.
he's like up there.
I was gone.
He's
dude.
not here.
I was gone.
Drake was like, thank you, Cleveland. Dan's like, he's having a conversation with me.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was
God.
okay. So when I say there's a zone for me, I mean it. Like
You were in space.
I am no longer here. Once I hit a certain level, I am no longer here. I'm here physically, but mentally I am on a whole other fucking plane and I am just, vibing, man. That shit is damn, I remember that shit, man. That was good shit. I fucking miss those days.
Dude, every time I don't really party at all anymore, but like every time I did go out and have a night of drinking, like the morning after, obviously I'll have a headache or something.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, I know I embarrassed myself.
Oh, 100%.
I know.
God.
Dude, I talked too much to that one person, like fucking
Oh, dude.
dude. That's why
I don't
Drink
know if
LaCroix.
you've I don't
So, I think it's the night where you're talking about Columbus or whatever, where you went down and Dirty Dan came out.
Oh,
the Dirty
yeah.
Dan
I don't
story.
remember that night because I got fucked up in the first like 10 seconds and I was blacked out.
Yeah, Elliott doesn't drink, but he drank that night.
dude.
When I do it, it's like, all right, let's go. But
He
at
could have stopped
At
you.
that point, I hadn't drinking a lot, so I mean, I would just down stuff. Like,
Wait, was that New Year's Eve?
I think I can't remember.
I think it was.
I
Because
don't-
we were in
I don't remember.
we were in Tiffany's little soul car, remember?
Did you have breakfast?
Cannot remember.
Fuck, I think it was.
Dude. So I don't drink, but I have drank.
Yeah.
And this is a story I've debated for a long time telling this story on the pod, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh shit! Hold on,
So-
time out. Dalton is about to tell
A drinking story.
a party story.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And we've already had this episode.
Yeah. There's a lot more party stories
Yeah.
we got to go over someday.
This time was ridiculous. So I wanted to drink and try it, see what it was all about. You know, I did a ton of research
You wanted to
on
be
it.
cool like the other
So I
kids.
tried it, and I was like, oh, this is terrible and disgusting. Well, I went out one time because a friend of mine was playing this acoustic show, and I was like, let's go support this dude. I gathered everybody and anybody I could think of to get a hold of that remotely enjoyed my company and was like, we're going to this show. I wanted to bring the world to this kid's show. So we do that. Well, my band member at the time was like, you going to try this Jello shot? And I was like, yeah, sure. Tried it.
That's
And it was so good. Dude, I'm like, wait,
Blast from
there's
the past.
alcohol in this? And he's like, yeah, dude. And I'm like, this is so good. So I take a shot. And my wife's with me. We're not married yet or engaged. It's just my girlfriend at the time. And she loves when I drink because I love everybody all the time. So when I drink, I really love everybody.
He'll start
even
hugging.
more.
Are you touchy feely?
I'm the same.
I just
way.
want to hug everybody. Yeah. Like
You
I
get in
just,
jail for
I
that
just
shit.
love everyone. I hug everybody. I compliment whatever my favorite features are in you. I'm telling you, I love you 1,000
fucking
times.
great, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's me.
You're not. We had like 2 conversations.
Yeah. Like, you were so handsome. So I'm just drinking and I'm taking all these shots. And my one buddy gets me this, it's like it's a strawberry drink of some sorts. And it was so good. It didn't taste like alcohol at all. I was like, this is so good. So I'm just hammering all this. People are buying me Jello shots. And everybody, like nobody's seen me really drink because I just don't. I'm not a fan of it. So everyone's like, look at this guy. So everyone's buying me shots, and I'm just going and going and
Trying
going.
to kill you.
And I'm taking these shots. I got to work the next day, too. So I'm taking all these shots. Buddy played a great show. I honestly, if I'm being honest, it could have been terrible. I don't know. I really don't remember if it was great, but I thought it was great. And I'm fucked up. I remember standing up. My wife's grandma's there, too. She ends up coming, because I told you, I messaged everyone.
Hey,
Come
to the
out
show.
to this show. Like, it was at a bar. My wife's grandma's like, oh my gosh. Like, they're all loving
alcohol.
me drunk. And we get up to leave, and my wife's got to drive. And it was like, I remember standing up, and it felt like the whole world went sideways. And I was like, what the fuck? And I just fall. And then my buddies are helping me up to the car, and we're on our way home. And I'm just like, I'm going to puke. I'm going to puke. I'm going to puke. I just push the door open. We're flooring it down the road. And I'm just puking, dude. Puking. We stop, and I'm puking. And we get home, and I'm just puking. And it was literally like off of a movie. I had to sleep in my bathroom because I'd wake up, vomit everywhere in the toilet, go back to sleep. And I had to be to work at 8 in the morning the next day. And I remember hearing my uncle in my head. Because my uncle used to be a really big partier. And he's like, I drank enough for you in your entire lifetime. You don't have to do that, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, but you always have to go to work because he's like, you're the one that did it to yourself. So you got to be, responsible.
Be responsible, right?
And I remember waking up, having to go to work, and I was fucking miserable. I'm probably still drunk, if I'm being
100%,
honest.
100%.
I wake up, I puke. I get to work, I puke. I'm helping customers, and I get smells of like perfume, and I'm just like fighting it. I run to the bathroom, I puke. It was the most miserable time of my life. And everybody was like, you gotta drink more. They loved it. But I literally slept by the fucking toilet all night, just waking up puking. Went to work because I put myself in that position. I drank one other time after that, and every time I drink, it's extreme. The last time I drank, my wife's grandpa made me this 7-Up and vodka. Is it Tom Collins or Chris Collins? Something like that. I don't know. It's a fancy drink. He's real fancy.
Phil Collins.
No, it's not that. And we're drinking out by the pool. I get violent sunburn because I was just drunk. I didn't know. And I mean, I was so burnt. It was like it wasn't that it was the top layer, but it was like multiple layers underneath was so fried that they called it the devil's itch.
Oh,
Nothing you can
no.
do can get rid of the burn. Dude, it was miserable. That was the last time I drank, and I will never drink again for the rest of my life.
I mean, I'm with you, man. I stopped drinking. Well, it is very, very seldom that I'll have one, and if I do, it's got to be with like family, and it's probably just going to be like one Guinness. And so, but it's like once a year kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just like see.
Look at me. Don't fall into it. No.
You want a 16 ouncer?
But I got a funny story if you want about drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Dude,
Let's
that's
go.
what we're
This
here
is
for.
the place to tell it.
Okay.
I mean, look at
I'm
me.
gonna tell you
Everyone's
about.
like, oh, I don't like
tell you about
drinking.
when I met Gordon Ramsay.
What?
You met Gordon
Oh
Ramsay?
no,
No
it
way.
involves drinking and
My
Gordon
buddy
Ramsay.
Cameron
yeah.
just
I'm-
shit his pants. He loved Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. So we were on Warped Tour, and we had a day off, and I was going through some stuff, and one of our old front of house guys, our tour manager, works for Zed now. And so he was doing Zed, and Zed was doing the residency in Las Vegas. And they were like, hey, come over to this place. I know you guys are at this hotel, but we're going to be playing. You can come backstage, whatever. And so we're like, okay, cool. And then, like, I was on the bus still. I was, like, pretty undecided if I was going to go. So everyone kind of left before me. And I was like, it's kind of dealing with shit. I was like, fuck it, let's go. Like,
Right.
I'm going out.
Fucking run this
Yep,
shit.
you're running it.
I'm going
Spur
out.
of the moment.
So,
Get your mind off stuff.
so I'm texting, and I find the right elevator, and they take me up, and I come back, and it's like this whole suite, freaking like Zed's there, the whole group's there, the band's there, and like I'm sitting there, and my drummer at the time, he's like, dude, we're going down here in like 5 minutes, and there's no alcohol on stage, so you got to drink all of this right now. And he just took all
no.
these like little shots and poured them into a drink. He said, just drink it right now, because you can't drink all the rest of the night. So I was like, okay. So I chugged.
God.
So I chugged this.
Okay, how big was this?
It was like,
Oh, shit.
Oh, so he
Wow.
topped it off?
he like, it was just like, because he was sipping it, and then he
Right.
just added stuff and was like, just drink it, just do it, fuck it. And
Okay,
so,
okay. Go on. Wow.
the only other thing I remember about that is that Zed and I were talking about Overwatch for like ever. So
Dude, that's actually he did the soundtrack. He made a soundtrack for
I'm sure he did.
Valorant.
We were talking about Winston and like using what mains. It was super nerdy stuff. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I go down, and they're like, all right, we're going to escort you guys back. So we go escort ourselves back. And they're like, hey, actually, there's someone in this like backstage room right now. We got to wait for them to clear out. Once they clear out, then we'll bring you guys in, and then we'll get you guys on the stage, and we'll start the show. So we're like, oh, well, who is it? Who's there? And it's like, oh, it's Gordon Ramsay. And so everyone's like getting hyped or whatever. And then like we start to go in, and he's like leaving. He's got like friends, a bunch of girls and stuff. And I was like, Gordon!
The alcohol's fully kicked
But
in now.
no, what we would do, I was conscious of it. So it's like, I would just yell it like down here.
Oh, so he didn't know it was you.
So you don't know who did it.
Elliott's notorious for that, by the way.
I like to troll and get
yeah,
it. I
yes,
like,
he does.
if there was a gift that like I think identifies, I just like to stir the pot. It doesn't mean it's I'm not trying to like make things bad. I just want to see what happens.
Dude, yes.
So even if it makes things bad, you're stirring it.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's just like I tend to do that. So I'm kind of messing around. We get into this room, and yeah, it's just water. I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then they bring us out on stage shortly after. And there's like seats, and then there's like where you can stand, and then there's like a freaking flood of people, and like it's a DJ show.
Yeah.
And there's tons of booze. Backstage.
Right.
Oh,
You're
so they're all like, we didn't know. They told us there's not going to be
and
anything.
you just drink a fucking
And
cup, a glass.
Oh.
And I'm getting super, at this point, I'm like really starting to feel it. And so Zed starts, it's all good, and then I look over, and there's Gordon sitting there, and Gordon's got his bodyguard there, and I'm not like the worst looking guy, so I start like walking up to the bodyguard and start talking to him, and he's he was
short with you.
He was interested. Let's put it that way with me.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there chatting it up, having a conversation. It's not coming from like a bad place. It wasn't like
Yeah.
I was drunk. I was just kind of how you said, where you just get super
Yeah.
drunk and friendly. I'm like, man,
Right.
this is like the coolest job ever. I know I'm drunk. I know I don't want to be that guy. You know?
Dude, yeah.
So sorry,
Yep,
but
that's-
like I need to talk.
I was like, I just thought like this. Like, you get to do this every day. Like really, kind of like almost like Dale Carnegie, where you like compliment them and let them have.
Yeah.
And so he was actually wonderful and like super sweet. And he's like, oh, you can talk to him, man. If you want to talk, he's super cool. You can. And so he lets me go sit down with Gordon at like their booth, and I'm like, dude, I watched your tutorials on how to make eggs.
That's the first thing you said to him.
When we're talking,
Amazing.
I was like, but it wasn't like that. It was like, dude, you taught me how to make eggs.
It wasn't like, hey man,
Yeah, you did not call. You're just like,
I watched your
I was-
tutorial on how to make eggs.
what did he? What was his response?
He was super nice and like obvious. I was like, I don't want to punish you. I don't want to be that guy. I just like thought that's fucking crazy to see you. I literally, I think I had like just like done it like, because I'm a terrible chef and I can't do anything. But it's just like if I'm just gonna do what he does because he's good at what he does.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch what you do and do everything exactly how you do it.
If I can get it 80% there, it's probably better than most. So, so so anyway, we had a good night. I don't remember a lot of the rest of it, but I just remember the next day. That's like a notorious one where they'll be like, "You taught him how to make eggs."
He'll forever remember. Like, oh, I taught you how to make eggs.
Dude, if I ever, for whatever reason, I run into Gordon Ramsay, I'm just gonna
tell him.
You taught me how to make eggs.
Hey man, you taught my buddy how to make a really.
You'd be like, Elliott, is that you?
Yeah, I've always heard he was so mean because of the shows and stuff, and I never really watched him. My wife watched the one with the kids version.
Yeah.
Bro, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm such a softie. Like, dude, I'll be balling watching him with these kids because he's got to send one of these poor little kids home because they didn't cook. But I'm like, bro, he just cooked the best meal that I could never touch what this little kid is doing. And like Gordon's crying, or I'm like, this guy's so great. And then I seen the Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. Dude.
No, I didn't know he'd abuse kids.
He has
No, I'm just kidding.
It's amazing. Wait, what?
verbally.
Pause. No, it is literally like it's the most wholesome thing ever because these kid chefs are freaking amazing, and like he's a softie.
That's cool.
He
though.
is a big softie.
That's
like
cool
he'll
as
be
fuck.
tearing up, like because you don't want to send these kids
right,
home, but
right,
like,
right.
oh, dude, I'll be
You got to teach them
balling.
hard
I'm like,
lessons
this
of
is
life.
terrible. But why is that little kid like, oh,
Dude, okay.
it's so
So
good, though.
speaking of party stories with Elliott, I
Uh-oh.
remember, if you don't want me to say about Amsterdam, first time you had a brownie. do you remember?
We already said it.
well, yeah, but
You want the Amsterdam story?
yeah, because I remember him. I think you had just flew home, and
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you were with Before Their Eyes or
Bless.
Bless. Okay,
Yeah.
Blessthefall. Okay, so he just had flew home, and we were hanging out, and he goes, "Hey, I got high."
And
I'm like, "You did?"
because I never did anything.
No. At
like,
this point,
I never used to drink or
no.
anything.
So it was like a big deal then.
Well, I was really involved with my church, and I really, when I came out of that, I just really battled with like, hey, I don't really, and my family has some demons with it, and it was one of those where I was just like, I don't really want to let that out of the box.
Facts.
Right.
So-
But but to be fair, I don't think you knew what it was until it hit you, right? That's what you told. That's what you told me. You're like, I didn't know what it was, dude.
No,
It was
I
in-
knew what it was. I'll tell you right now. Okay, I'll tell you that story. I'll try. Do you want me to? Okay.
Yeah.
So we did our first headliner in Amsterdam, and I remember I was like on cloud 9 because my mom was European, and I grew up like thinking, oh my god. And so to go there and play shows, I was like, I'm getting the full experience. I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
So like the whole morning I was at like a botanical garden and like having a wonderful time. So
Right
just to paint the picture, it wasn't all just like I'm trying to get fucked
Yeah. He wasn't trying to get fucked up. Okay.
So we, all the guys were like, "Oh, you've never done it?" Like, and it was not all the guys, but some of the guys would partake, and so we, we're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this brownie shop." So, and we did. We go to this thing, and I'm like, "All right, I'm not gonna put up a fight. Let's just try it. I'm in Amsterdam. Why not? Why not? If I'm
Right.
gonna
Of
do
all
it,
places, yeah.
it's government regulated. I'm gonna do it here."
Yeah.
So we go to this coffee shop. I think it was called the Dolphin, and they had brownies. So we all got brownies. And we ate the brownies, and it was fine. And then about an hour later, nothing. We're still feeling pretty chill, and so we were like, all right, well, let's go to a different one because maybe like that was just like a really low dosage, or maybe we ordered the wrong thing.
Famous last
you know.
Oh
words.
God, yeah, because it takes.
So we went to another one, and they had a muffin, and so someone ate their muffin. Matt ate their muffin. I ate my muffin.
Like
and
a
then
whole, like
a
you ate a whole brownie
whole-
earlier and then a whole muffin.
whole muffin, and Jared ate half of his muffin, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey man, I think because like you haven't had weed, you're probably gonna have like a tolerance. You should eat the rest of this just to make sure you."
Oh my god.
What are they doing?
Well, he didn't know. I mean, it wasn't like
Oh,
a,
he
it wasn't-
didn't- okay.
It wasn't like a setup. So we were.
Okay.
It
It
was,
sounds
okay,
like one.
Okay.
so I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm 21. And I just ate it, and
So a whole brownie, a whole muffin, and half of another muffin.
yeah. So then we go back to like just so you see, it's like where the bus is parked. It's right next to a canal. So literally, if you like got out of the bus and you like jumped, you'd fall in water.
Oh wow.
So it was like always like, oh fuck, like when you got out. So we go back to the bus and we're chilling, we're like
Dude,
listening.
this story is fucking great. I love it.
You're so stoked right
I'm
now.
so excited because dude, you have to understand, like you said, he grew up, like we grew up together, like him not doing anything that I was doing. So for him to tell me this story was like, well, welcome. Welcome to the dark side. Welcome to my
It's
world.
all over now.
Right.
You want to do drugs?
Try these.
It's the Pineapple Express. The monkey's out of the bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Bath salts.
So we get back into the bus and everyone's just like sitting and like literally we're so like green to this, so everyone's like, "You want to put like Pink Floyd on or something?" You know.
Oh,
so
yeah,
so we're
yeah.
like, "Okay,
Right
let's put
on.
Pink Floyd on." Like, so we're listening to like Dark Side of the Moon. Nothing's happening. It's been like probably like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours now, and Pierce the Veil's on this tour with us. We're in this weird world at that point where we were headlining, which we shouldn't have been, but Pierce the Veil was like direct support for us, and so. The rest of the band's like, hey, we're gonna meet them up at this little like there's like a square like right outside kind of near the bus where they have all these like cafes and things. It's like, hey, let's go meet over here. And if you know where it's called Melkweg, if you've been there. And so we're like, yeah, let's go do it. And then Jared, Matt, and I are like, yeah, let's just go. We'll meet them. We'll hang out. And you want to look cool,
Right.
I have total imposter syndrome at this point. I'm the new guy for that band. I'm 21. I shouldn't be here, and I'm probably going to be way higher than I think I am. So so we go to meet up with them, and everything's fine. And then like suddenly everything starts to kind of slow down,
Oh.
and I look up and I feel like the air hitting my face, and I look and I see Jared and Matt, and they go, no.
No.
they just booked it back to the bus. They just started running back to the bus.
They got freaked out, huh?
Yeah, and they're like, Elliott, we're gonna go to the red light. Do you want to go? And I was like, yes. So
Dude.
we're walking, and all I'm thinking is I gotta look down and I gotta follow their feet. And if I follow their feet, I'm not gonna get lost. So I'm like, follow the feet, because I'm getting really, really high at this point.
Yeah.
Like
And first of all, and I've told you this before, I'm like, edibles are not the way to go if you want to experiment with marijuana. The first time. You have to build up a tolerance for edibles, at least in my experience. So edibles hit you like so much harder
Once they hit you.
So if you guys are watching or listening, and you've never partaked, I'm not saying do it, but if you were to do it,
Don't start.
please don't start with an edible.
or do it, and it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Or if you want to start with an edible, make sure you know the dosage and take a fucking quarter of it.
Yeah, you start big and then everything's easy after that.
Or you just get freaked out and never want to try it again.
So speaking,
Like me.
so speaking of freaked out, so I'm walking, following their feet, and I start seeing this kind of red aura in my peripherals, and I'm just like, I'm not really paying attention to it. I'm just trying to like, hey, hold a conversation because they're like talking to me, but I'm kind of like looking down. I'm like, yeah, man, that's cool. Like, I was throwing like a bunch of
Keep
that's
yourself calm.
well, I just kept throwing a bunch of that's crazies at them. So that
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they know you're listening.
yeah.
You have to make sure that they don't know. I have to be aware of my surroundings.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And so I'm walking, and I just hear a huge wham, and I look up, and there's this naked girl in the glass. I'm like, I'm totally scared. I'm just scared. And they're like looking at me like, no.
And in your head, you're in slow motion. You're
I'm like looking. I was like, look back at the ground. Look back at the ground.
Don't look at it.
Don't look at it. It was like a T-Rex. If I just stand here, it won't see me.
Man, that's crazy.
titties.
So we go into a bar, and they want to play billiards, and I go into the bathroom, and I'm like, I need to get fucking sober right now. So I take water and I just throw it in my face, and I feel it, and I'm like, oh, I feel great. And I'm back.
No, I was about to say that does not fucking work.
It does not work. So,
Dude.
ended up being a pretty chill evening. I did make it back safe, but it was like, I would not recommend that
Dude.
going back.
Man, see, that terrifies me. I think I told before, but it happened to me while I was at work. I won't disclose where I work, but I accidentally thought something was just CBD, and it wasn't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I was like, I got to go home. I'm sick. Or I think something's wrong with my mom. I got to go.
Oh my god.
Dude, and I ran out of there. But I get anxious.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
about. Well, I know he doesn't.
I was teching for a band. It was the second show. It was in I think New Orleans, and my buddy who was front of house, and so I was doing full backline. I was doing drum, bass, and 2 guitars, and there's guitar
damn,
handoffs.
that's a load.
It's a busy day, and I'm like setting up. So long story short, I hadn't eaten, and my buddy gave me something to eat, and he was a front of house guy. It's like 2 hours before the show, and I'm eating, getting ready, set up, and I suddenly get super fucking high, and I go, dude, what did you give me? And he's like, dude, oh my god, I gave you the wrong one. It was like a candy.
What do you mean one?
It was like a candy or something he had. And so I'm like, I'm gonna get fired.
He didn't give him the wrong one.
I'm like, I'm gonna get fired.
This is my last day.
So we have like the water for stage and stuff. We had 2 cases. I took an entire case and started chugging like all of the water.
Well, actually, that helps.
To try to like flush your
And then
system.
I went.
Oh, it's Duncan. I'm like, someone
It's not a
just licked
spider.
me.
It was
My
me.
bad.
It was me. Oh man, have you seen The Thing?
Yeah, we talked about that
Dan
with Mike
has it, yeah.
Felker.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I ended up doing like 300 burpees. I was just like, my CrossFit count. I'm just gonna do burpees and drink water. I'm just gonna get out. But
Sweat it out.
The show in it. But I was freaking.
Yeah.
I was like,
How'd the show go?
fine. I was
Oh,
like,
dude,
I
right
was like,
on.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired. So my parents
All that work.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's level 100.
I would
at
never
that
do
rate.
that. Like it's like totally after if you're gonna do anything.
Yeah.
like, maybe to go to sleep. But yeah, it's crazy.
Man,
Jesus Christ,
dude, yeah, that would terrify me.
Elliott, despite how much we've like hung out in the past, I have never hung out with you. Well, I might have. And
We've hung out a lot, but I've never hung out with you.
no, I meant like I've never seen that side of Elliott. You know what I mean? And I'm always the one being fucked up, and Elliott's taking care of
I'm
my ass.
usually
Well,
yeah.
Dan, I
Yeah,
was gonna say
it's
there
like-
always has to be the dad of the group somewhere. I was always that friend that I'm the dad of the group. I'll make sure everyone's safe. I'll make sure we all get where we're going. So it's like Elliott was just that dude.
Yeah,
He was the responsible
Yeah,
dad,
he
making sure
was.
everyone was safe and good.
He always was,
So, yeah.
man.
And he was practicing. Unlike some people.
Well, it's kind of like you said, though. It's like you always wake up the next morning like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
I feel very stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I remember we were loading gear for that Amsterdam show the next day, and I, like, picked up a head case. It's, like, 70 pounds, and I had a crack on my neck. And I remember I got a little thing of high. Like, oh, I'm still high. That was all.
Dude.
I was like, not again.
I thought it was over.
Oh no!
I was like, I thought I was done with this
I
shit.
went to bed. What do you mean? I went to bed.
Dude, it's
Oh,
fucking
man.
crazy.
We'd drop acid when we were teenagers. Not me and him. But they'd always say, dude, you'll have flashbacks sometimes. Like, if you crack your back. And it never happened. It's a lie.
You probably
Never
did.
happened.
Oh no, I completely understand what he's saying because like I've been so high, like
That's not weed though. Weed's different. But I was saying,
Yeah, well, the night prior, like I'd just be like on another planet,
You're in
and then the
space
next
again.
day I'd like wake
Dude.
up. Oh
He'd
shit!
wake up and knock shit over. He'd be like, "Oh,
Are you
shit."
high right now?
No,
Yeah,
no,
dude, he
no.
is.
I didn't
Lying.
know that. No.
Oh,
No, I haven't smoked today.
The jam
Really?
with Brock and
Yeah.
Dan sign. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh fuck! Nobody knows what the
Yeah.
show is now.
Yeah, true.
It was
true,
behind
true.
my back anyway. No, I would remember like being super high the night prior, and I wake up like crack my back, like I get like a head rush of like
Sternum.
of like the highness, and I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I'm good. All right. Well, fuck. I like that feeling.
Dude.
Bam.
Yeah.
You just gotta hair the dog with weed.
I don't really do any of that stuff anymore. I mean, I not to introduce this, but I took mushrooms for the first time about a year ago, and that I haven't wanted to smoke. I haven't wanted to drink.
Did it change your
I
perception
felt,
of everything?
Yeah, I felt like it was a deeper.
How much did you do?
I just took whatever they had. It was in Amsterdam, actually.
Right on.
Really?
Yeah, we were.
Man, this
Hell
is
yeah.
an experience. This
So-
place is first time for you for all this stuff.
I know. Well, that's kind of, I was like, well, I'm in a hotel room. I can just chill. I'm just like, I feel safe. It just felt like a therapy dive. Like,
Yeah. See, I it's not necessarily microdose, but it's a little more than a microdose. I don't see anything, but I feel warm
Yeah,
and I feel like everything's okay.
that's the best.
Yeah.
So I only do mushrooms when I need to.
Yeah.
Like weed helps my mental state.
I haven't done them since. And I mean, it's like, but it's one of those where it's like you
Right.
don't feel like you need to.
Right,
And
right. If I don't need to, I won't.
Yeah.
But like sometimes where like weed is not helping and my I have bipolar. So weed usually helps with that. And so when I'm like severely overwhelmed with life and my schedule and everything, I'll be like, all right, my son is with his mom. We got nothing going on. I'm doing mushrooms and I'm not leaving the house. Like I won't drive. I'm
You're responsible.
yeah, I'm going to set aside a whole day just to pop some mushrooms, just to reset my brain. And then I wake up and I promise you, I wake up the next day and I go to work and I'm like, wow, like I am stress free. It feels like I can breathe and not worry. And my mind is just clear of all the thoughts. And it's so crazy because I'm like,
It feels
Okay.
like there's so much clarity.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. It feels like everything is okay. And even when stressful things happen, like that next day, it's like,
Well,
okay.
the thing I notice is that you come through this like this clear perspective, and you get people that are like, oh man, you're just gonna be one of those people. I'm like, no, really, like it really, like what we're worrying about doesn't matter.
Exactly.
This actually does not matter.
Exactly.
And I love that. I had a buddy who, I was really against that for a long time. I was really like, I don't want anything in my system like that. I don't want to associate with people like that. Not from like a judgmental place, but just kind of like I said, I know there's demons. I'm staying away from it. And so, yeah, I just like, I had a friend who I worked out with who I watched, he had like PTSD. He was in a terrible place. I like was like going over to his house, making sure he's okay, doing like wellness checks and things. And he was talking to me. He was like, man, I think I'm going to do these things. And like, honestly, he called me up maybe 2 weeks later after I saw him, and he's like, dude, let's go hike, which he was like in a total different place here in Arizona. We go hiking. So
Yeah.
we don't have anything else to do, but
I mean, that's fucking dope.
but it was like night and day. It was like a different person was talking, sitting. He was like clean shaven. I was like, who are you right now? And it just sold me. Like we went on this big like 6-hour hike talking to him, and he was just like, I cried. My wife was there with me. I got through all this shit, and it's like, he's just like such an inspiring guy to me to begin with.
Yeah.
He's like,
Wow.
he's like one of those dudes that could just like take an edible and then do the hardest CrossFit like thing you could see. And you're
Oh,
just
see, I can't do that.
but he was like that, but
Right,
then he was
right.
also, but he stopped coming. He was dealing with stuff, and I was like, dude, something's wrong. Like he's got some depression coming up because he has PTSD. I just want to make sure he's good, and just to see him do that, and like ever since, it's been like, what an he's like a total inspiration.
That's like the coolest thing I've heard. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, dude, like there's levels. Like, just because I smoke weed, I have my medical card, but I smoke it for a reason. I'm not just trying to live my life high. And you guys both know this. Like, I'm not high right now, but I will be.
Will
I mean, like I smoke at night. Unless I have nothing going on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like then I'll be like, all right, I'll smoke a little bit. I hit my pen. But I do that because I have found that marijuana helps me stay off the other shit. Does that make sense?
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
decompression.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, like yes, I'm drinking a beer right now, but usually Wednesdays are my beer drinking days. I have a specific day. And then like some weekends when I don't have my son, I'll go out and me and Anna will have some drinks and shit. But like if I smoke, I won't overdo it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And like, like I told you guys in one of the last previous episodes, weed has got me off of some hard shit. So it's like, okay, I respect that plant. And I'm not going to abuse it to just be a fucking stoner. I love marijuana. I will 100% till the day I die smoke marijuana. But in a way for it to help my brain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's no like magic cure. There's no like magic button you can press that's gonna make everything go away.
Of course.
And I feel like, you know, the placebo effect, and I'm not saying this is like a judgment, is so real and proven to be real with
Yes.
seizures and things.
Right.
So I'm kind of in the place where as long as it doesn't negatively impact you and affect others in a bad way, I don't really care what you do.
Exactly.
Yep.
We
Exactly.
talked about this with Brandon Martin a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Skatopia
Right.
guy.
Dude, you need to watch that
Non-aggression
shit, by the way.
principle.
Yeah.
If you're not hurting anybody else, it's
Right.
okay.
I mean, and like I said, I don't do it I don't fucking do it
Yep.
during the day when I got shit going on. I keep it away from my son. It's like, okay, I have like a half hour. I'm going to smoke real quick so I can go to sleep and stay asleep because my mind races.
Well, I mean,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, frankly, you know, just as the perspective is changing, if I was a parent, I would feel a lot more at ease knowing my kid was downstairs playing video games, high, eating a pizza, than out drinking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
I'm most likely
Right.
not going to get a phone call that they're, you know,
Yeah,
been
they're
in an
an
accident.
Exactly.
Yep. I know what I think I'd said it last time too, but like I was straight edge for like all my teenage years. I stopped proclaiming that in like my mid 20s. And it was like because of the demons in my family's history and stuff like that.
Right.
I watched it just destroy. And I remember a family member of mine had a metric ton of medical issues. I mean, dude, it was ridiculous. Was losing mobility, all this stuff. Excuse me. And stopped taking the medication because it was just destroying them. I mean, I watched the quality of life just go to the ground. Started smoking, but they didn't start smoking. They started with oil, and then they started smoking. Then all of a sudden, they're getting mobility back, and then they're starting to eat more. They're getting healthier, and they're starting to live their life. And I witnessed this, and I was like, from smoking, my whole life I associated drugs. I won't lie. If you smoked, I was like, I'm not going to be around you. And I don't want to say it in a judgmental way, but I think looking back, it was because it was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make that a vice. I'm going to be better than that because I watched it kill my family. So I was like, nope, you're a bad person. Peace out.
I think that takes a lot of bravery, not to interject with that, just to be able to call yourself and say there is, you know, there was judgment in that.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
Yeah.
Looking back, my first thing to say is, oh, it wasn't from a judgmental place, but it kind of really was. But you're young and you don't know how to
Exactly.
communicate.
Right.
And
Yeah,
process
yeah.
that.
So it was like I watched it completely transform my family member's life. And to this day, they're still around. They're still doing the things. Now, they can't do everything they normally could do, but they're functioning. They're living. They're a human.
Right.
And I was like, mind you, I'm like 26, 27. And I was like, I got to stop thinking like that. Because like marijuana, I associated it with laziness. And, you know, if you smoke this and use this, you're going to be a bum. You're going to be a nobody. And that's my fault. I didn't, you know, I that was a mistake.
Or on drugs, but
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah,
but that also like it ties into the
propaganda.
your character,
Yeah.
your personality. Do you have an addictive personality? If you do, you're gonna be doing that shit all day long, like
Yep.
because you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
So that obviously, what am I trying to say here? It's like
you're saying
You have to be responsible. At the end of the day, you do have to be responsible.
no one knows yourself better than you.
Correct.
And you have to
Exactly.
be really vulnerable when you're going into a situation and saying,
right.
you know, I have a gambling problem. I probably shouldn't go into this situation where I'm going to be
Yep.
put up with that.
Right. And so, see, like I've dealt with like overdoing it with the alcohol and the a drug that we won't name. You know what I mean? I just don't want to give my business out.
No,
But,
for
like,
sure.
Punch.
But like,
Not
you know,
good stuff.
yeah, not good stuff. It technically ruined my life. And my buddy at work was like, you know, just get yourself a fucking bowl, get yourself a little eighth, and just smoke. You used to do that shit all the time. And I'm like, I know, but it like freaked me out. But I was also mixing it. I was, you know, smoking and drinking hell of a lot. So it's like, okay, well, clearly that intensifies everything. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get off this shit. I'm going to get off this shit and I'm going to fucking turn my life around. And I swear to God, I will forever like thank that plant. Because if it wasn't for that day in my old ass apartment, lighting up that bowl, I would have never been like, oh fuck.
You still have to thank yourself though too.
Yeah.
Because you made that decision.
I
to,
made that
to
decision,
try to
and
stop
trust me,
Yeah,
it was hard. It was hard, but I kept it going with, like, okay, I'll just take one hit, and it like cleared my mind of that urge. Does that make sense? Now this is just me. This is just me.
Not to interject here. I'm sorry, Brian.
No,
I know.
No, go ahead.
But
we want you to talk.
I was gonna say, okay, so for me, my first thought when you say that is it's almost like when you're writing a song. You know what you want to do. You see the vision. Not everyone's gonna understand what your vision is, and so you're the one that has to take control and really guide that ship to the lighthouse of where you want to go. And not everyone's gonna have that introspective awareness. They're not going to have the cognitive awareness of where you're at and what you're trying to do. So whether that's wanting to go to the gym every day and change your life and people doubt you, or hey, like, this is really helping me with my anxiety and my demons, that's your journey.
Exactly. And so and thank you for saying that, because a lot of people like very close to me don't understand why I still smoke, and I'm like, well, you don't know what I was going through. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand how this plant has helped me.
Yeah.
And not like saying I don't want it to sound like I'm relying on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The specific.
You're practicing gratitude towards it, but you're not. You could stop.
I could stop. I haven't smoked all day today.
And you know
I'm
that.
fine.
And we can only trust that you have that ability.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So that's really at the end of the day what it comes down to.
And I watch how much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here just smoking hella bong rips like hella fucking joints. You know what I mean? I'll take.
But you could.
I could.
Yeah, but you could.
Yeah,
I could.
And it would be really fun.
And sometimes.
Just,
well, I mean,
just kidding.
no, I mean, and sometimes I do let loose.
There you go, stir in the pot.
Every now and again, I'll fucking just, my son's with his mom and he's not at my house, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's what,
But like sometimes I'll fucking rip the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? I'll just smoke all fucking day. But then again, that's very, few and far between.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't want to surround myself with people that would look at me any lower for being my authentic self. I think, going into your 30s, you just to say, hey, this is who I am, and I show up every day and I try to make the world better in whatever capacity I can give. And if you want to hold that against me, have fun.
Yep.
I'm not Atlas with a globe on my back trying to carry that.
Right.
I'm not going to push that up a mountain every day.
Right.
Like, that's your problem. That's your cross to bear. I'm going to live with my convictions and where I'm at and just be the best person I can be. And that's a lot of self-work.
That's the way to be, dude.
And
it really is.
It's hard too.
Seriously.
Because you have to be you. You have to be strict.
Exactly. And if people
like that,
people don't like me, I'm too old for that shit. Bye. You know what I mean? If you don't like the fact that I talk about weed all the time, then don't listen to this shit. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm just saying.
But you
like,
could listen to it if you did.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where I know what that plant did for me, and I know what it still does for me. So it's like,
it sounds like, and I'm not trying to interject, but
you have
a lot of gratitude towards something that's helped the trajectory of your life.
It has.
And you've mentioned you have people that are unapproving of that. And so it almost feels like you have to like forge your own path and you have no guidance and you have to feel like you have to put that all on your back. And so I understand why you have the passion that's driving you towards where you want to go.
Right.
And you don't have to apologize and you don't have to explain yourself. And I think going into your 30s, it's like where I'm at. I'm like, I'm not apologizing for wanting to do that. I don't owe that to you. It's almost like for me, it's like almost coming out of like being involved in the church and stuff. I was always like trying to be an example.
And see, that's where I'm at. Like, I have to. That's why
it instills it instills this guilt. It's like, oh, I did this, and because us three, I think we're all raised within a very religious environment. I know for me, it was like a constant battle of like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I remember, I'll be honest, I had sex before marriage. Dude, I can't tell you, every time my wife that I'm currently married to, I would, we would make love, and the guilt that would just, dude, it was the heaviest shit. And it was bad for me, because I'm like, we're not married, and I'm doing this. But it was like, why? Why am I doing this to myself? I love this person more than anyone in the world. Why does the law have to dictate if I can accept, like, okay, yeah, we can legally do this?
Right.
Dude,
What are you doing?
I feel like we haven't said Brock.
I know. I just been observing the whole time. You guys went off on a tangent. I'll just let it happen.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. I just,
Yeah.
Dude,
I haven't seen Elliott in like.
yeah,
you know,
dude, this is good. I really like hearing this guy talk.
If only we could pull up a permanent seat, because dude, this is a vibe, bro.
Yeah,
this is
I mean,
so
we're gonna
fun, bro.
zoom you in.
When me and Elliott used to get together all the time when you would fly home and shit, like this is what we would do. We would like deep talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we haven't really
We
got the
therapy
chance.
dump on each other.
Yeah,
There wasn't-
100%.
There wasn't a term for it, but you know.
Yeah, like, and we haven't really got to do that today. So this is what that was. So
Yeah.
my bad.
No worries.
Dude.
Yeah,
So
that's
happy-
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
That's crazy, dude. That's
Sorry,
so
guys.
crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
That's fucking
Dude.
crazy.
Dude, I'm so happy that you decided to come in and hang out with us, dude.
Yeah, thank you for the
Yeah,
opportunity.
dude, we
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
We
really
appreciate you.
No,
making
thank
time
you
for
for
us.
the opportunity. We got to talk to a cool dude,
Yeah.
So
brother man. Hell
before we head out of here, what's in store for Bless the Fall? You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, or
Yeah.
if you can't, but
We're going on tour this fall with Polaris.
Okay.
Supporting them, and we may or may not be playing some new music. I don't know. That's what I've heard from a rumor. So
Okay.
yeah, really, every time we get to play shows, I'm really grateful, and I think it's a cool opportunity just to get to come back. And I think we're going to be coming to Cleveland and
you
possibly
dude.
there's another show that hasn't been announced in Ohio too. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
that'd
well,
be.
I wanna come see
that'd be
ya.
kind of cool if the Jam showed up to that for you.
are.
That'd be fun.
I'll be right in the
That
front
would be
row.
fun.
If you
Yeah.
know a guy that might be able to hook that up, you can just come. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's
I'll be at the
talking
front
about
row. I'll be
me.
like, dude, that's crazy. I'm going to be saying that. I'm
This,
going to notice when I say that now.
This is for the nerds that I know we have a few out there, and I know you're into this. So
Okay.
your top 3 anime shows.
Oh my god.
You
yeah,
gotta pick 3.
So yeah, that's why I didn't really hang out with Dan and them, because I suck at skating and I love anime.
So one of my favorite accomplishments, like not to segue from this, but one of my favorite accomplishments, I got my wife to start watching Dragon Ball Z, and I'll tell you what, I feel like a child watching her experience this. I just am like the happiest human. I'm so proud of my wife for like doing it. She goes, "Now I understand why you like all these serious shows." She's like, "You watched this as a kid," and I'm like, "You don't even." She's almost at the end of Cell, and I'm like, "You don't even know. You don't even know what's about to happen."
You don't
yet."
even
So-
know. There's a lot of Kid Buu coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff.
I have no idea
So-
about anything anime.
Yeah.
I went
so-
to a convention once. It was cool.
Oh, I love going to a convention.
They had this little corner in like the vendor hall. It's called the Smut Hut,
Oh.
and it was all like the dirty anime.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
my.
I'm down for that, dog. What
I'll
the
send you the address.
Oh my goodness.
Let me delete my search browser and I'll go there really quick.
Dude, it was crazy.
So top 3.
Yeah, top 3.
Top 3 animes.
Well, first off, my picks are Dragon Ball Z, so that's definitely it. Right now, I'm just gonna go off right now. Right now, I'm reading My Hero Academia, which I'm really late to the game on, but I've been binging it on the Shonen app. I use the Shonen app like every day, so it's like just on my phone.
I have
Okay.
no idea what
I
you're
use
talking
Crunchyroll.
about.
Yeah,
so-
I love Crunchyroll, and so I've been watching it on there too.
Crunchyroll?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
dude,
Sounds
yeah.
like a sushi.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
it
think
is.
that's
That's
it.
why it is. Yeah.
Oh,
Japanese.
Because all anime.
Oh, makes sense. My bad.
I've been reading and watching Kaiju number 8, which is like a new one. It's kind of cool because it's like the traditional kaiju, like Godzilla. There's a monster,
Okay,
but the
okay.
guy, the hero of it, like cleans up. He's like a janitor that cleans up the dead,
Oh, okay. My little brother was
monsters
telling me
after.
about that.
and
wow.
and then it like takes a spin. It's fucking great. So that really like surprised me. I thought it wasn't gonna be that good. And then obviously Dragon Ball Z would probably be my ultimate.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z would be my top.
That's my '90s kid watching
Hell
Toonami, and before that,
Yeah.
before it was even on like Toonami.
Yep, before it was on Toonami,
I
yep.
remember
Yeah.
that.
So
shit.
out of
Yeah,
Dragon
dude.
Ball Z, who's your favorite villain?
Villain?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god, dude.
'Cause I like Boo.
he's a G.
I'm Boo. I hate Boo, but I love Boo and Frieza.
Yeah.
But it's a real tough battle for me because the storyline for both those is just insane. But
I don't know. Like I like the movies, like the old movies too, like BoJack and all that.
Okay,
so
okay,
like
yeah,
I mean I think Janemba with Gogeta is like
okay,
that's a pretty cool
Dude.
moment. But if I had to go through the main The androids are probably
Androids?
my favorite.
Okay.
The androids in the future saga with adult Gohan and Trunks is like the epitome of me.
Yeah.
Like Gohan fighting the androids with one arm is the hardest shit.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I think we wrap it up there, guys.
So
Elliott,
we're fucking around.
these two
We're
are doing shenanigans in the background.
Sorry, guys.
No, dude. No.
No, he said boo, and all I could
was
think
just-
about was Monsters Inc.
No, dude, Majin Buu. Oh,
I was
my
just
God.
I was just thinking about like the storytelling and like anime series and shit like that. It's like fucking.
It's next level.
Oh,
You'd be
it's
like,
next level
it's-
for
it's
sure.
why didn't
absolutely
we'd be a lot
un-
smarter in America if that was like what we're feeding our kids?
Well, dude,
probably.
my wife hates that. Like, it's so hard for me to watch shows because they got to be like, I need to be hooked. Like, I want a story. Like, I want to be questioning every character, questioning the plot, seeing if I can figure it out. But like a lot of that comes from a child watching Dragon Ball Z. That's an in-depth fucking story,
Right,
especially as a
right.
kid to be able to grasp that.
Dragon Ball's great. If
Yeah,
you,
oh, yeah,
if
Dragon
you
Ball's
go
where I
back,
started.
So Dragon Ball started in the 80s, and it's like, if I went back and rewatched that and reread it, and it's like there's so much more pop culture stuff you appreciate because you think this is being made in the 80s. They're throwing all these fucking cool like Star Wars characters
Yeah.
and shit are showing up.
Mhm.
And I mean that leading up from that all the way to Super, it's a journey.
Dude, I'm so pumped.
I have to check it out.
So pumped
Like,
for my
yeah,
wife
I'm
to
gonna have to-
continue. Dude, if you're going to start with an anime, I swear that Dragon Ball Z, you start with Dragon Ball Z and that'll hook you because you'll start right into the Frieza saga.
You could even do Kai where it cuts the filler and you'll enjoy
Yeah,
it. And then you
See,
can,
my wife started with Kai. We were like, she was like 10 episodes deep. And I was like, this is the 10th episode? And I was like, hold up. We got to get you on Crunchyroll. Because
Yeah.
Kai's just, she got hooked through Kai,
Yeah.
and then we got her into the regular, and then it's
they
been a wrap
they
since.
cut out a lot of filler stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, because like
Damn.
I can talk about
You see
Dragon
it
Ball Z all
everywhere.
day. Like, all day, dude.
I told you,
love
I could do an anime podcast. Like,
Dude. Well, next time you're in town, I'll sit back there. Dalton can be right
No, no.
here. You guys can talk about
What do
anime.
we say, Elliot? What do we say?
And I'll just
This man
listen.
wants
Dude,
me on camera so bad.
I want the
I know,
Dalton
dude.
cam.
Well, he talks back there, and nobody could ever see him.
It's like Jamie
wanna
from
see
Joe,
him.
Yeah.
Jamie from Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I know, but he
Hey,
engages
Jamie,
a lot
can you pull
more
up
than
that
Jamie.
clip of Goku punching Boo, turning into a cookie.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for my wife to hit the Majin series. Oh, my God, guys. I'm
He
geeking.
he engages a lot more than Jamie does, though. That's why I'm like, we need a camera.
You do.
But
You
I have
do
my
and-
days. I have my days where I just sit back and I be quiet. You know?
Not really.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
you might as well be like the jam with Brock.
So
Dan, and
after
Dalton.
this episode, if we could get a poll of who wants to have the Dalton cam,
Yes.
There
and
we
if
go.
could
Look,
get
oh,
it
look at him.
voted.
He's freaking
Yes.
out. He's like,
No
"Oh,
makeup."
please. Oh,
And you said you
please."
don't edit these ones, so I want to see that poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
If any of you guys watching right now that are watching on YouTube only, because clearly Spotify, we don't have video on there yet. But
Are you even on Apple Music yet?
No.
no, because they,
Apple
dude,
Music sucks. No
Dude,
one likes
they
Apple
won't-
Music.
no,
They
dude,
won't accept
they
our
won't-
fucking payment.
they won't accept our payment.
Like,
we've
they-
tried 3 different
Yeah,
cards.
I'm just like, we're just not destined to be on there. Because,
Literally, and me and Dalton, we have fucking money.
yeah,
on
we
our cards.
we were on the
Hey,
phone
can I have
together.
some?
You do? Yeah, give me some.
Yeah, I want some money.
Yo, dude.
Dude,
We,
you know
we
what?
have no
You got
lives
that
because
money.
we have
Come
a
on,
little bit
dude,
of money.
you buying food tonight? What's up, dude?
Yeah,
Pizza.
dog.
We
Shit.
want AJ's.
I got some Cheez-Its over here.
My girl made some chicken, dog.
Hell yeah.
Also,
Border.
all right. Well, let's get out of here because
Yeah, I gotta pee.
Yeah,
I do too.
yeah,
Dude,
same.
Elliot,
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
much for
Thank
coming,
Yep,
man.
thank you, man.
This has
for
been
the
fun,
Yeah.
dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
High five. From
Thank
back
you.
here.
Dude,
Before we go, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like.
And below we'll have all of Elliot's socials as well. Make sure
Yeah.
to follow him. He
Yes,
posts
sir.
some really cool stuff.
odds are is you'll find him through our show for sure.
Yeah,
You don't
oh,
know who
yeah,
he is
yeah,
outside
yeah.
of this. Yeah.
He does really cool shit in life, so it's cool to watch. I'm cutting
Okay,
that.
it's
Dirty
I'm
saying,
I'm
Chad.
cutting all this, boys. So
Just
All right,
dude, just
peace.
put a bleep over it.
Love you. Bye.
See ya.